All right, let's see what we got here. I guess we on. Hopefully, you guys should be able to hear me. Hey, what's going on, party people? How's everybody doing today? Um, Happy Sunday. Still happy New Year. Hope everything's working out for you guys so far. So, if this is your first time here, welcome. It's definitely a great pleasure to have you here. I go by the name of Lespri. I am a spiritual healer, and as a spiritual healer, what I do pretty much is that I help people to become mentally and emotionally balanced. And and the whole purpose of me helping you to become emotionally and mentally balanced is just so you can have the highest or the broadest, you know, self consciousness. Meaning, it's you seeing the bigger picture. Because when we're talking about self conscious, right? So to be conscious of anything, it's for you to relate to it, to be aware. So your self consciousness has a lot to do with you, the perceiver. Just like they say, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Well, that beholder, you determine the beauty based on who you are, based on what you like, based on your internal vibration. When we're talking about now your consciousness, based on your internal level of consciousness, then it would determine how conscious you are. But becoming the Christ is to attain that highest level of self consciousness. But for you to do that, you would first have to be in alignment with you. So by becoming mentally and emotionally balanced, what that does for you is that it allows you to actually become in alignment. And at that point, now you would have a better perspective. Because you got to keep in mind the aim and the target has to be one. This is you knowing who you are. So that aspect of yourself has to be discovered. That's what the journey is all about. But for you to get there, you would need to become mentally and emotionally balanced because by doing so, that's how you get to be have just like to say, um, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Well, the more alignment you are, the more you'll see beauty. The more you become conscious of who you are, and that's how you are setting yourself free, pretty much. Or you are, how did they say? Yeah, you setting yourself free. You know thyself, and that's how you're being set free. But now again, if you're not in alignment, meaning let's just say if you're depressed, meaning you're not emotionally balanced, or I mean it doesn't have to be anxiety or I mean just being toxic or let's just say not being in touch with your emotions or you being triggered. If at any given time you could be triggered, then you're not balanced. Do you see what I'm saying? But most importantly, you the time that you're being triggered, it's like you miss the target. But again, if you're depressed, if you're not emotionally balanced, you're not gonna be in the best state of mind for you to make the best decision. If you're sad, somebody just passed away or whatever the situation is, you're not, what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. And it doesn't matter. Let's just say if you're not happy, you know what I'm saying? You're going through some stuff shit, and then I'm taking you to a party. The party's not gonna mean anything. It's gonna have to be either or. Either you at the party or you're gonna feel that way. But ultimately, the point that I'm making here is that not being emotionally balanced, you're not gonna have the highest or the clearest state. I mean, your mental is not gonna be that clear. Just like if you're crying, if you're being too emotional. In fact, when we say someone is being emotional, we're saying their emotion has pretty much clouded your vision. So you're not seeing the best out of what you're looking at. You see what I'm saying? And now vice versa too. Now, if we're talking about you being not being mentally balanced, meaning you're not aware of your environment, then you're just being influenced. So you're not. I mean, how can you? You do see what I'm saying? Like, how can you even come up with anything good if you're not mentally balanced? Do you see what I'm saying? Then you're gonna have just a popular response or the popular ideal or state of mind. That's what being regular or average is. But anyway, now if you're too mental, now meaning you're using logic as, let's just say, the foundation of who you are, or to center yourself, you are neglecting your emotions, then you become very robotic. You become very rigid. You're not looking at the small things, and the small things do matter. That's what we call life. Life happens, bro. We all know it. No matter how, let's just say, reactive or whatever the fuck you're doing, there's always, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you can't be logical. Even the life you're living now, it's not even logical as a whole. But again, you would also be stepping on other people's toes because you're not considering people emotion. If everything is logic, it becomes like Judge Dredd. It's fucking robotic, man. It's a living corpse. Do you see what I'm trying to tell you? So either way, that's why you want to, this whole thing is ma'at base. That's the yin and the yin, the masculine and the feminine coming together. Your higher self, your lower self. Call it the mental, the physical. I mean, your emotion. You know, ultimately, we're saying there's a part of you that is not as physical that you have to become in touch with. And that's what we call becoming the perfect man. The perfect man, it's when the invisible side of you and the visible side of you come together. Then now you are fully awakened. But again, for that to happen, that's why it's important, for you to become in alignment with your emotions. There's such a thing as your intuition. Your intuition in itself, there's nothing logical about it. And I bet you, man, like you better know how to, those are your, how can I say this? Those are the step that you should, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you should follow. I mean, that's your GPS right there. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, we all kind of go through certain experiences where, I mean, I'm just saying that to say that, there's nothing logical about life. You have the supernatural and what you call the natural. We all talk about it too, are we not? And even the conversation that we're doing here right now, that's what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? And again, if you truly get the bottom or the baseline understanding of what we're saying here, we're talking about you, your essence. Again, you attaining your highest level of consciousness, that has to do with you. You becoming in harmony with yourself. That's what the whole game is. That's why the self, I mean, we cannot neglect it. You have to embrace yourself, and out of the self now you'll get the self-esteem, you'll get the self-confidence, you get the self-support, you'll get everything else, that the integrity, everything that comes with that kind of spirit. But if you're neglecting the self, then now what you have is a self-image. Then you're going against your essence, and that's what sinning against the Holy Spirit is. And this is unforgiving. Yes, sir. Until you get it right. You'll be forgiven when you get it together. In fact, on, you can only get for your forgiveness by getting it together. That's what knowing who you are setting you free. And that's pretty much why I'm here. Uh, that is my job. This is why I'm here. That's what I do here, pretty much. I mean, I guess I was just being a little bit dramatic. It happens. Um, but in a nutshell, that's what pretty much that's exactly what I do. But just like I was also saying, the underlining messages here too, it's talking about you. So again, I guess I'm jumping a little bit ahead of myself here. When we talk about spirituality, it's just your life. But anyway, now to break it down a little more, just to go a little bit further, when I talk about, becoming mentally balanced. So obviously, what this is dealing with is you understanding your own emotions, you understanding your pain, and understand the message, the effect of the pain. Because technically, when you're doing the shadow work, it's going to have to be your new self going back to the old self, addressing those issues. And that's when, I talk about the self-love, the self-support, talking to your younger child, or to your younger self. You have to take care of it. You got to talk to it nice. You got to pamper yourself, man. You can't be harsh on yourself. Listen, every effort, every step you make, you have to appreciate it. Do you see what I'm saying? And when you do that, that's what gets you in a gratitude state of mind. So, which is a win-win state of mind. When you're grateful, you're always losing. I mean, you're always winning. I mean, that's the winning cycle, to be honest with you. But again, going back to your emotions, it's you understanding what your emotions are, identify your emotional patterns, and then if there's any blockages, just like we were just talking about now, talking to your younger self, and you would have to learn how to listen to it. And that's what your shadow self is. So again, this is you dealing with an emotional aspect. It's like your true self. See, that's the part that needs to come together. This is, your higher self and the lower self, or if you want to call it however the fuck you want to label it. But all I'm saying is, there's more to you than just you, and it's all about you making that connection to yourself. That's how you are developing your inner vision. You're becoming more Christ-like. I mean, the word's got to be made flesh, baby. Oh, that was a strong one. That was a nice one. Mm. I'll let that marinate. But anyway, and now in addition to that, when I'm talking about being mentally balanced, well, it's pretty much the same thing. You know, you would have to be aware of your mind, understanding how you learn, how your mind works. Then you would have to understand how were you raised or how were you trained to think, because you're not going to be mentally balanced if you're thinking the way other people. I mean, because being mentally balanced, that's what's how do you align with you if somebody else is making you acting a certain way. So that's why you would have to be conscious of what's going, what type of food that you're getting, but most importantly, the process on how you're being fed. Because ultimately, you would have to overcome all of this shit. But for you to overcome that, you would have to acknowledge it. That's why, as a spiritual, I mean, being, it's your duty, to question your culture. You have to understand what your culture is. You must question your culture. Do you see what I'm saying? Otherwise, you become just one-sided, biased. Again, not the best version of you. I always use this example, right? Because I tell people, like, you know, well, it's not even important, but the bottom line here is that, to be mentally balanced, you would have to understand there's so many different things. It entails a whole lot. It entails you becoming more aware of your mind, your intellect. And obviously, for you to become more in touch with it, you would have to understand, how was it influenced. So, in other terms, I mean, words, you would have to pretty much undo a lot of the things that was done to you. But for you to undo it, you would have to locate and understand what is it that you are undoing about you. So, and that's how you become in alignment with you, by becoming, aware of these things, and, being in alignment with both your emotions and your mental. Now you get to see your true self for what it is. Oh Lord, we're getting a little strong out here. Okay, ain't mad at all, baby. All right. So, but if you're coming back, you already know. It's always a pleasure, baby. You already know what this is. Get a plate. You know what I'm saying? Let's delve right into it. Now, as part of my process, guys, welcome back. And you already know it's nothing but love, guys. I love you guys. Now, as part of my process, guys, I always take the time, as a spiritual healer, to pretty much tell you a little bit about what spirituality is, at least from my perspective. Because obviously, you here to listen from my perspective. So, but I also wanted to let you know, what my perspective is all about. And how do I get to see, as a spiritual healer, pretty much I'm holding the mirror that I'm holding for you to see who you are. That's what spirituality is. But that mirror is for you to see who you are, meaning it's about you. And obviously the word spirit and spirituality, pretty much, it's when you're talking about the spirituality, it's just the story of the spirit. It's the story of the universe, of humankind. And we all have, let's just say, our mythology to describe it. That's where the East, the West comes in. That's when, the African has a certain way to describe how this world became in creation. The Christian have a certain way, the Indians, and so on and so forth. So spirituality embodies all of that. This is, and it all comes down to you. Now, having a proper understanding of what the you is, that's when now the occult comes in. The occult now is dealing with what we call the esoteric knowledge, the esoteric wisdom. Those are knowledge that cannot be taken literally. Let's just say if I were to tell you in life you are to suck your own dick. I mean, obviously, I don't, depending on how flexible you are. So every case is there are always gonna be exceptions. And if you are that exception, listen, this is not for you. If you somehow know how to do it, so if I tell you to do it, I guess what I'm trying to say is, those statements, right? When we're talking about the occult, that type of understanding, it's not meant to be taken literally because obviously, I hope you're not able to do it. But what this is also telling you is that, there's something more in you here that you need to suck, that you need to come in touch with. So, as part of the occult, we use profanity or profane the natural or the most, like, that's why you'll see a lot of the wise people, they would use just ordinary shit. Or we see wisdom, or we can use nature to talk about wisdom in the most ordinary or profane. That's what profane is. And then there's beauty in it. And you are that beauty, meaning on how ordinary you may appear to be, you are spirit. You are the Son of God. And then here you are, probably you taking shits, your shit stink and all that shit. And then there's a whole beauty about you that transcends all of that. Oh, I hope you understand this. I hope you understand that. So the manuals, those esoteric knowledge that is intended for you to go to develop your inner vision, or i.e. your self-consciousness. So spirituality is just you, man. Then now you have the occult with the esoteric knowledge. Those knowledge that is not, you can't look at it for face value. It's making you aware of, that's what in the occult we say, for you to find the light, you have to go into the dark. Because we say out of the darkness comes the light. That darkness would be the part of you that you do not know, and then to discover how great you are. That's why it takes for you, that's why you have to follow your dreams. Because you never know how great you could be until you put yourself in that position, baby. But that takes the work. That's when you have to follow, but you would have to be in alignment with you. You do what you love, you find the one you love or the one who loves you. You got to be in alignment with you, man. So again, when we're talking about spirituality, it's your regular life. And out of that regular life or ordinary life, it's there's beauty out of it. Now, beauty to the pure, all is pure. I mean, I mean, can you understand why I'm always happy? You know what I'm saying? I found my treasure. We ain't going back, baby. We're getting better and better every day. Listen, listen, man. We cannot be stopped. You hear me? Come on, man. This is you making me hungry more. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you understand. You know what I'm saying? My DNA don't stop, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes me a winner too. And I agree with you. I'm so lucky. Now I understand why you feel like life is not fair. Hey man, don't hate the player though. You gotta hate the game. But now you're trying to hate on the player. Mm-mm-mm. Come on, man. You already know. Don't you ever, 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 nigga. Not even in your whole fucking life. You don't believe me? All right. You gonna feel it? You know what I'm saying? That's how we talk to you, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, hey, like homegirl say, those who don't feel will hear, man. You're about 6 by 12. You know what I'm saying? Your size, you're 6 by 12, baby. That's the size of your coffin. But anyway, again, you know, spirituality is us. But unfortunately, due, out of ignorance, when it comes to spirituality, most people always feel like it's something outside of them. It's like it's a different subject. Yeah, oh, yeah, spirituality. Yeah, it's two street down the road. Yeah, then you make a laugh. Like, whoa, that's out of ignorance because they don't truly know how they operate. Because just like I always tell people, right? For you to get to know somebody, you have to go beyond what they look like. You know to know who somebody is. You know what I'm saying? And then like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? He's 6 feet tall. You know what I'm saying? That could be part of it, but it's to truly know the motherfucker. Is he? You know what I'm saying? Is she a hoe? We gotta know if she a hoe. Then we look at what she does. Oh, she's a hoe. You know what I'm saying? Then now the hoe's not gonna. It's not like you're gonna look hoish and shit. I mean, some people do look like a hoe, but for the most part, I mean, it's not gonna be written on your fucking face. Do you see what I'm saying? Or if you a liar or whatever the fuck you are, it's not written in your face. So you got to get to know the person, meaning their inner self, their qualities, their characters, the way they think. So again, just you dealing with somebody else, you have already transcended what they look like, but you don't look at it that way out of ignorance because you don't know who you are. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why people always tell you, well, you know what, you never know somebody, man. Yeah. I'm not claiming to know everything, but yeah, but energy never lies though. I could guarantee you that. If you understand energy, that would never lie to you. You know that? In fact, motherfuckers could hide how much, however the fuck they want to hide. When you tap into their energy, they can't. I mean, I know for me. I mean, I know what I know, nigga. And if you don't think I know, watch me work. I mean, you think I'm moving like this because I don't know? You think I'm stupid as much as stupid as you are. That's what your problem is. You're looking at yourself. You're looking at me. You think you're looking at. I mean, but you're not looking at. You're looking at yourself. That's why you thought I was stupid like you. That's why you thought you know me, but you didn't know me. You should know me. Scotty thought she knew, man. Scotty didn't know shit because Scotty was looking at me from herself, not for me. That's why. Watch, you'll see. Everything you say about me is everything you doing. Nothing to do with me. Everything you say about me is everything you do. Everything you do, that's what you say I do. Damn. Like I don't know why. I'm right here. You're looking at you. I don't know what you're looking at. Do you see why they call you stupid? But anyway, so going back to us not being ignorant of who we are, so you automatically, you can't connect. So yeah, it's a couple street down, what I'm saying, that way, and that's right. Now another misconception is that people say, it's religion, whereas I mean, at least again, it's all it's all external. Do you see what I'm saying? So, okay, it's not what we do here, but it's actually religion, because they could identify, what religion is. Those belief systems, you know what I'm saying? Or people who believe in God, like God has nothing to do with them. Meanwhile, their whole life, all of our lives, derive from our gods. You act the way you look at your God. And if you have no God, you're gonna act like a no God. That's why at the end of the day, it's all about you. You know, if you Muslim, you see how people are screaming, Christ, Jesus coming back. That shit don't mean shit to you, bro. That's not your God. That's not what you chose to follow. Same thing too. If I'm into voodoo or you talking about Buddha, who gives a fuck? I mean, but it's a little bit different because the voodoo god and the Buddha god, they look at things on a very similar space. Christianity, to be honest, is the only religion that tells you, you know what, everybody else is bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Yours is better, ours better, and then theirs is nothing. Do you see what I'm saying? So because of that, you always reject other people. You know what I'm saying? And part of the narrative too is to go out there and change their mentality, convert them, make them just like you. And that's where you have now niggas that are preaching the word. I mean, listen, man, they have created their lives unconsciously. Your God dictate how you living. Do you see what I'm saying? Now you don't have, it's one of those things. Tomatoes, tomatoes. Like it is what it is. Whether you're conscious of it, whether you're unconscious of it, though. You see what I'm saying? If you're not, let's just say you're not conscious of something you do. If you picked it up, you put it right there. You did it, though. You know what I'm saying? You probably didn't mean to do it. I understand, but you did it. You didn't mean to do it doesn't mean you didn't do it. It means the effect or the intention of that action, but the action is there. You know what I'm saying? So, regardless, there's nothing that could be done outside of us without us. Whether you believe in Christ or you don't believe in Christ or you're saying fuck everything, all of it comes from you. If I believe in Jesus, your Muhammad means nothing to me. Your Buddha, Krishna means absolutely nothing for me. Meanwhile, you have people on that other side that, oh my God, no, this is Krishna, oh Lord Krishna, and all that. And then you over here, oh Jesus, Jesus, you're doing all that shit. That's your choice, man. That's what you know too. You were born on this side. You know what I'm saying? Now, can you imagine if you were born in China? Do you see what I'm trying to tell you? Man? Tomatoes, tomatoes, dog. You know what I'm saying? Again, this is you, man. So that's why it's in your best interest to become fully balanced, to attain that highest level of consciousness by becoming conscious. Like me, I have all I have. Listen, all of these guys, I made all of them my gods. They're all serving me. I mean, because if you're gonna be, listen, man, your God's got to work for you. If your God is not giving you a good look, well, you know what I'm saying, you're not conscious, you don't know that you are the creator of your own life. That's where mythology comes in, because mythology it's a motherfucker. It's the ultimate mind control, nigga. That's why our ancestors, we understood that. That was the narrative, because you talking ultimately to your essence, which is a living mind, spirit. And if you understand that, that's what spirituality is. That's the essence. This is you. Now, the Indian call this world Maya, meaning a world of illusion. Just like if I need to get to know somebody, if I'm going to say she's a hoe, right? I mean, it's not how she look like. I mean, in some instances it could be, but for the most part, it's all I'm saying is it's I have to know something else. You know what? It was funny. I was watching. Yo, the Book of Clarence, yo, that shit is so funny to me. I mean, the level of comedy in there, it's A plus to me. It's classy. It's everything I know. No, if you guys see it, I strongly recommend it. The comedy in it is crazy. So Jezebel, the crazy part they were showing you, Jezebel was stoning another lady. Like when we talk about like a Jezebel spirit, it could be a male, but potentially what that referring to, it's it's a hoe. A Jezebel spirit, it's you have women that are just fuck like cat, dogs, doesn't matter. Hey nigga, if you breathing, you getting fucked. Here's that. Do you want? Oh yeah, you got it. So was a part when Jezebel, now we didn't know the name of the lady, but she was stoning the other lady because apparently, she got caught cheated, whatever the fuck. So it's the same Jesus scenario when the lady was being stoned, and Jesus stepped into the conversation and all that. But they had a twist to it, right? And just to show you the level of comedy, I really loved it. It was very classic. It was very classic to me. You know what I'm saying? I really liked it. You know what I'm saying? It was very tasty. I'll put it this way: it was very delicate. It was clean. It was very civilized. I loved it. So anyway, and I could see the reflection of what was the name of that director? Because I went to look him up. I'm like, oh, okay, I see you, nigga. She's doing your thizzle, baby. But anyway, to make a long story short, she was stoning the other girl, right? And then when Jesus said, whichever one of you had never sinned, throw the first stone, whatever the fuck, and then everybody stopped. And then there was a scene now where this guy would say, "Oh, thank you for stopping. What's your name?" She said, "My name is Jezebel." She said, "Nobody knows me." She said, "Don't worry, everybody will know your name." Listen, you gotta see for yourself. Listen, and then when she said, "My name is Jezebel," nobody knows me yet. She said, "Don't worry." You know what I'm saying? Or everybody will know who you are. So in other words, like when we all know when a hoe is a hoe. In fact, the whole community know. That's what this shit is saying. Like, oh, somebody is like, oh, it's so and so. Yeah, that look that one right there. You know what I'm saying? Like that's when you have that community conversation. That nobody really knows, but you get to see who's coming in and out. You're like, yeah, that little one right there. Oh man, everybody knows. And she'd be walking back and forth, not knowing that everybody knows who the fuck she is. She's a hoe. Oh shit! Oh. So, but the sarcasm in it was that pretty much telling Jezebel, "Don't worry about nobody knowing you. Everybody does." Right. I mean, you mistaken greatly. So everybody knows who you are. Just don't tell you. Well, we know. Oh man. But anyway, making a long story short, guys, when it comes down to spirituality, it's us. It's you. It's me, man. This is you. You know what I'm saying? But you got to know who you are. So the whole purpose of you being here is to reconnect, remember, meaning to become a new number, to reconnect, baby, come back home. And that's what the journey is all about. That's when you would have to go inward, and that's what the occult is telling you is that you're dealing with your dark side, and out of that dark side, that's where the light is, and that light is pretty much the non-visible or the invisible side of you, and that's what has to come together with the visible aspect of you. Then you become the one, the yang and the yin, the perfect one. Not in terms of being flawless, but in terms of being whole. The two side of, those two little things, the yin and the yang, that comes together, your masculinity and your femininity. And that's how you become Christ like, Krishna like, Buddha like, Lespri like. Because that's your goal. You know what I'm saying? That's it. So now let's delve into what we came here to talk about. So, as you guys see in the title, man, let the dead bury the deads. Man, that is such a profound statement. And here we go, another one too. That is not meant to be taken literally. Because, first of all, I mean, if you're already dead, how can you bury another dead? So it's this is profane, but yet the wisdom is in it. And the Buddhists, I really love, they use the lotus. If you understand the meaning of the lotus or the whole they grow out in the fucking mud and bulge out. Or the bud. I mean that I think, you're dealing with that. The seed, and that's you. And you nourish yourself, you grow with light, the sun, the moon, all of that is just, knowledge is light. Like it's all your vibration, all of that. But again, before I even go any further, that's what esoteric knowledge is about. That's what the occult deals with. That right there, that was some occult shit. Jesus said, let the dead bury the dead. Come on now. I want you to go within. You got to go beyond what is being said. And ironically, that's what we call the power of the words, too. That's how the words is giving you sight. That's how you gain a little more understanding. Those are the aha moments. That's what you do when you're doing your meditation. Come on now. Come on now. All right, all right. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you a few jabs in there. Just to remind you how it does this. you know, you know. If you know, you know. Okay, guys, let's take a second. You know what I'm saying? We got to reload real quick. You know what I'm saying? This is the time if you got to take a small bathroom break. You know what I'm saying? It's the perfect time to do it. Or you can always pause it too. You know what I'm saying? This is for you, baby. Once this is published, guys, listen, man. It's for y'all. You heard me? It's just me doing God's work, man. Just letting the Father know. You just let you just throw it up there for me, man. You tell him, you tell him, hey, man, I see this guy doing this thing. You know what I'm saying? Thank him, and and tell him what you see me doing too, because I'm not playing. Oh, he knows. You know what I'm saying? We're just saying confirmations. Let it be known. Oh, come on now. I'm down with it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm doing it. You see what I'm saying? So again, that statement in itself is incredible. The setup, the way it's being said, again, when we talk about the power of the words too, like I tell you guys, it has nothing to do with the meaning of a word. And the way this is also has been set up too, man, it automatically bypass your conscious mind. It's like there's a part of you, it's like you paying attention. Now you may not know what it really means, or you may not know, understand what it means, but you hearing something here. At least, I mean, I would hope, because the least you can hear from that is that you can't take it literally. I don't know what that means, but if you're taking it literally, it doesn't make sense. But I know there's something meaningful here, but it's not what it appears to be. And in so many words, this is the world that we're also living in too. I hope you see the connection. But anyway, mm, that's the ma'at. That's what. having your heart to be as light as a feather. It's all about. Mm. It's to be experienced. It's for the living. So let's get back to the dead for just a second, right? You talking about people who are not potentially a lot of what you call dead people, they derive or they stem from, you know, society's function. This is what society says, and this is what most of these people do. Meaning we are in a society where, self image is what you call your self esteem, which has nothing to do with it. But I'm saying that to say you're living your life based on who you should be instead of who you are. We all go about that image. You understand and you know that's what society teaches you. That's why a lot of us are saying the media, I'm saying, all of that, they're telling you how to dress, they're telling you, all you saying about, I mean, it's the structure. So they rocking you to bed. The school that you go to, from whatever the fuck, they rocking you to bed because none of it has to do with your self-conscious or your true consciousness. If it ain't true, listen, I mean, it means nothing. That's you becoming that philosopher, but yet you losing your soul. Or that $1 million guy, but with no soul. It means nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's like you having $1 million and then you got AIDS, you dying the next day tomorrow. I mean, I guess you could say you had $1 million. Whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying? Bad health. That's why they tell you health is your wealth. That's why I always tell you guys, man, no matter how you break it down, the way you're looking at life is so retarded. That's how they rocking you to sleep. Because nobody makes money just by making money. I don't give a fuck. You show me where that shit happens. Even a prostitute is fucking. That means you got to do something for you to get it. You don't make money just to make money. If you're a musician, do what you love that you do, you selling it to the public. That's how the celebrities are making money. Those rap albums or whatever. They selling their music nationwide, worldwide. That's what you hear with the motherfucker. All you gotta do, you just publish your shit. Again, I'm saying that to say the illusion when you're not being you, like who the fuck, like what the fuck? So then, then that's when you have the whole world of competition comes in. Then you have people who are addicted to, let's just say, what they look like. Listen, the guy that killed Extentacion took the money just to kill the life to go on Facebook to show the money off, to go like this on Facebook, bro. Think about this. So this nigga obviously do not give a fuck about a life because he doesn't see it. It doesn't identify himself like that. What he sees in himself is the money part. And when you see that, you do anything for it. If money's everything to you, you'll do everything for it. There's no way outside of that. Again, the narrative, your mind, your spirit, your living mind, everything is mental. So again, to know your nature to begin with, it's that alone is setting you apart. That's how you're becoming free. Know who you are, baby. Come back home. So now when you're dealing with the dead, now you're dealing with someone who's not in touch with who they are. And because they don't know who they are, man, you got to move out the way. That's when your boundaries has to come in. That's where you have to learn how to choose your friend now. It's not personal because now you could see who they are for who they are. Now you got the sight. Or if not, the goal is for you to attain that level of consciousness. Because to let the dead bury the dead, you got to know first of all that they're dead. If they're dead, you know what I'm saying. There's nothing you could do for them. Only you can save you. That's just pretty much what it is. So how the fuck do we devalue who we are? You act like the God you create, or you choose whatever. Everything. The denominator here is you. Like I tell people, do I believe there's a God outside of me? Fuck yeah. And I don't deny it. But there's also something else I cannot deny, bro. It's me accepting that. Just like if you say, what I'm saying, Jesus is everything, and for me, Muhammad is everything, your Jesus don't mean shit to me. And my Muhammad means nothing to you. So how can I take myself out? So I'm also agreeing to that too. And that's the only difference, I guess, between me and you is that, what I'm saying, I acknowledge the things that you don't acknowledge. Like you acknowledge it's outside of you, I acknowledge that too. But now you don't acknowledge though you are agreeing with it. Because anything you don't agree with means nothing to you. And that's facts. You go to another country, people have their culture, they have a certain things that's sacred to them. I mean, for the most part, that's why they tell you to learn about other people's culture so you don't appear as disrespectful to them. So again, your shit got what they do, that's why I always tell people, like, what why would I give a fuck about you? Because what you do or what you eat don't make me shit. Do you see what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna allow whatever other motherfuckers are doing to come infect my life. Nah, get the fuck out of here. I was not with you when you were doing your bullshit. Why do I gotta pay with you? I'm saying I was not in those meetings and forging documents. I wasn't even near none of that. In fact, I didn't even know. I didn't even know. So how the fuck, like, that shit got nothing to do with me, dog? That's why I tell these motherfuckers, your apology means nothing to me. You better apologize to yourself. You know what I'm saying? And do something, I mean, because where I see you going, you just don't know. And you haven't seen shit yet. Mm, 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 mm. But you were warned. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is at that point. You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, so, all right, you know what I'm saying? It's like you tell a guy, right? Say, yo, fuck you, man. Okay, dog. No problem. What did you say now? I'm like, yo, what did you say now? Okay. We're going to find out. I know nothing. I don't know shit, but we're going to find out. Oh, they didn't know. They didn't know. Scotty didn't know. None of them know. Bunch of retards. Jesus Christ. Anyway, uh, going back to the dead, you know, if I'm using that same extentation example, like the emotional aspect of that guy did not even exist. But a lot of it, that's why I tell people, if you don't love you, you're not gonna love someone else. If you don't see quality in you, because to be of quality, like I always tell people, we always tell people to think critically. But first, you gotta be critical. You can't think critically not being critical, man. The fuck? You know what I'm saying? It has to do with you. It's like there's a reason why there are stupid motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I mean that was not the right answer. Like the fuck? But most importantly, what I'm saying here too is that because when it comes to being stupid, it's what you do every day. Because you're not gonna know everything. So therefore, it's a learning curve. So meaning the more you go, the things you didn't know as you're doing them, that's how we learn. This is life. That's why you got to make mistakes for you to learn anything. If you, that's why they tell you if you didn't even fail, you're not even trying. Because all of our lives, even as a baby, all we've been doing is keep going. That's why I can. Les Brown said it, and I love the way he said it. You will fail through success. Yeah, that motherfucker. Yeah, that was good look right there. I like that. The guy who invented the light bulb, whatever the fuck, you see how many times he didn't. Yeah, that brought him better or closer to his fucking success, man. You have to go through your trials and tribulations. It's a must. That's how you evolve. That's why they tell you the greatest thing about hard work is not necessarily the results, but if it's who you became. That's your first success. Man. That's your only well, that's your true success. Because if you have not grown over the years, whatever the fuck, like your money means nothing. That shit is secondary, guys. I tell you, yeah, no matter how you look at it, like that guy, he did that just to get some money, and now you in jail. Because you're stupid. Now I also get it too. That's why they tell you, these people don't need jail. They need to be educated. But these motherfuckers need jail, man. Again, to let the dead bury the dead. A lot of them don't want to learn too. That's a people thing. You can't, like, for me, I can't make you learn shit. Again, I'll just hold the mirror of wisdom. Through what I'm saying, I'm helping you to connect the dots for you. But at the end of the day, you gotta put in your work. Shit, obviously, nigga, I've done my work, nigga. This is extra work for me, man. It's not even extra work. How can I say this? This is extra credit. I already got all my credits, nigga. This is extra credit. Triple, quadruple the credit, nigga. Oh, fuck. Got me fucked up. Come on, what are we doing? So again, your true essence. I mean, you can't like I know for me, I had to go through what you call dealing with betrayal, haters, and again, it's part of your awakening. Jesus in his life had to go through that because again, when you understand mythology, because unfortunately, because we've that's why a lot of our ancestors and I understand they wanted to bury all of those knowledge. They didn't want us to find them because they were afraid that we're gonna create a religion out of it. Meaning, what we're truly doing is we take the true consciousness we made. I mean, it's something. I mean, it cannot. It has to stay. It has to stay how it is. I can't. How can I say this to you guys? Okay, you see, the '80s and the '90s are pretty close, very similar in music and all that shit. But the reality is, man, they are totally different. And that's why you can't use an old solution, a old solution for a new problem, bro. You see understand what I'm saying? What works in 1998 may not work now, man. And we all know it too. Just like if we're talking about comedy, right? The whole Dave Chappelle shit getting in trouble with Trini, with the LGBTQ, whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? That same shit didn't exist. Shit, let's just say 20 years ago. Every era has its own issue, and they have to be dealt. I mean, they have to be dealt respectively. Now, you could learn from that, but what you're truly learning is the awareness. Is the better to become a better perceiver. It's your inner vision that needs to open up more, but not to copy what was the answer then and thinking that answer is gonna work for today for today's reality. No, sir. Not even the music business is the same. Nothing is the same. So you always gotta somehow stay ahead of the curve. And that's the only way anybody, if you're looking to survive, or that's how you define the greats or the celeb, whatever the fuck. So in every era, nigga, you gotta stay on top of the shit. If you're gonna follow the trend, you fucked automatically. Because the motherfucker who always survived, they never followed the trend. They had to do what they had to do in that particular. Like ultimately, what I'm truly trying to say here, consciousness is always new, man. You see what I'm trying to tell you? Just like there was a guy I was telling, like, I can't do the same shit that Bobby Hemmett was doing. They were giving out books. I'll give you a perfect example. But with today's technology, you can Google everything. What kind of book am I gonna? No, you don't have a book issue. You have a fucking understanding issue. Because believe it or not, man, once your perspective is correct, then all the books are gonna make sense. And the ones that do not make sense, you'll know how. That's when you'll have your discernment. So again, when we're talking about real knowledge too, man, that's why I listen to other motherfuckers. Right there was this. I'm gonna let that one go. But anyway, because I listened to a guy who was saying how. I mean, it sounds logical, but there's a lot of bullshit behind it, right? So he was saying, how on YouTube everybody's teaching, right? Like for me, I always tell people everybody's doing God's work, but now it's not done on the same level, like such and so. I mean, based on your inner vision, you could have a deeper understanding, but whatever the fuck, or some people could, but all of it derives from where you at, what you see. So everybody's doing God's work, but it varies in fucking degree. But anyway, what this fucker was saying is that certain people should be teaching. Now, granted, I get that. Because when I look at Jada Pinkett having a red table, like, bitch, come on. Stop. Stop. No, you need a table to go to. No, 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 no. That's not for you yet. Go there, then you could have yours. We're not telling you not to get a table. Shit. Get red, blue, whatever the fuck. Not when you're not ready. This is insane. And that shit is clear, man. So that's when I see too, man. Niggas want to sound good. Spirituality has become this thing now. It's like there's an evolution. You have a better understanding of life. It has become this bullshit political shit. It has become very political, and that's the fucking ignorance out of the whole shit. That's why you'll see a lot of people too. They will put beautiful quotes, acting like they're about knowledge. These motherfuckers are hoes, dick suckers, and all that shit. Like, what the fuck, man? Bunch of fucking, you know what I'm saying? And that's what you got to watch out for. But check this out though. I'm glad all of this shit are out because your true knowledge, you got to be able to actually discern. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what I wanted to say. So what they were trying to say by when I hear that motherfucker saying not everybody should be teaching, which is actually true. But I feel like what was behind it though, it's like it's almost like they're saying these people are creating chaos. We don't need chaos. We just need positivity. And if you know life, if you need positivity, you're gonna get negativity, motherfucker. I mean, how do you truly know what you know if there's no discernment? Meaning, if there's nothing contradicting. I mean, you want to have this shit. But anyway, his underlying mission was, which out of Christianity, I understand what that is. It's just no fucking other God is my God. Pretty much what he was saying by that. That's what it truly meant. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, going back to the dead. And that's why in the occult, we always tell people too not to cast your pearls before swine. It's a waste of valuable time. You know what I'm saying? You gotta let the dead bury the dead, baby. You know what I'm saying? This message is not for them. Because you know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot, spirituality has become this thing where people want to sound smart. But for me, like like it's crazy. You mean to tell me you don't want to be smart? You just want to sound smart? Now that's crazy. It is. You think about it, it is. It is. Because it's like you know it's like saying, yo, you do know you're still gonna be dumb, right? Yeah, but I just want to sound smart. Okay. Have at it. That's your logic. I don't get it. Do you see what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense for you to fake you, man. But a lot of these people, and this is where you have to understand your haters too. And part of your consciousness, or part of the work that I'm doing, is to help you to know who you are. Until you know who you are, you would not be able to identify who your enemies are. Trust me, I have gone through it myself, you know. But most importantly, too, you know, as I started getting to know myself more, and you'll see that's when that's you being more in your power. That's why a lot of people, I'm gonna, here it is. For you to develop your inner self, isolation is necessary. Nigga, there's no other way around that, baby. You're gonna have to have that solitude time. Or you're gonna have to do time, baby. Oh, you're gonna do, hey man. If you do the crime, you're gonna have to do some time. Or you gotta put the time in. That isolation period, man, that's when, you know what I'm saying? That's when, but people who are fake people, they cannot do the isolation. Because keep in mind, they understand being who they are is fake. It's not good. That's why a lot of people, when they get vulnerable, they don't want to feel that way again. And you got scared. What you don't understand is what you're doing by being vulnerable. And trust me, you will go stronger. You are building your inner strength, your inner confidence. So that's why even if you don't feel comfortable about it, but you expressing it, you're gonna feel a little bit better. And by you being a little bit better, that is you gaining some more strength, motherfucker. And then you start living your truth, man. And then trust me, that shit. That's a whole that's something else. You hear me? This is the life worth living. See, that's what you should prosecute for. You should be prosecuted for that type of life. That's the life that I sacrificed myself to. And the crazy shit about this, the reward is in it already. It's self fulfilling. I don't need to keep up with the Joneses. I don't need to act like, I don't need to suck somebody else's dick. I don't need none of that. Self esteem, self sufficient. Now, here's something else too. I don't want you to get it fucked up. This is speaking when I'm saying, like I always tell people, we all need everybody in the society. We all depend on, like I was telling you guys, and I did create a whole recording where I already talked about that. For you to truly be independent, you got to learn how to be very dependent. You got to be a great dependent, because either if you're gonna own a business, no matter what the fuck it is, you're gonna have to trust and believe in the people who are doing the work for you. So meaning you're gonna have to be depending on these people if you calling yourself a businessman. Now, if you're calling yourself, let's just say, a fucking employee, whatever the fuck it is, again, you are depending now. You're gonna have to do your best work, and you're not gonna be able to do it by yourself. If you're a manager, well, guess what? If you're a CEO, it's the same bullshit, man. We are all dependent because a lot of people don't understand. You have to be the like. That's why being the like the stupid, and I talk about that too. The illusion is for you to think there's something. You are the alpha and the omega. When they were saying that about God, it was a reference to how you are too, because you are in the image of God. Just like myself and everybody. You are a cousin. You have so many things to you. You a cousin, you a father, you a son. I was a son. Now I'm a father. At some point, I'm gonna be a grandpa. Like it's just me. I wear so many hats, bro. There's so many different aspects to me. Again, your God's. Listen, man. Ultimately, it's you. The quicker you realize it, the better it is for you, man. Then you be on your way to self mastery to attain that highest level of consciousness, to become Christ like. When you are of the light, your business. That's why you, you don't curse the darkness, man. What is that going to do for you? You just got to light up your candle. If you don't see, is it worth you cursing the fucking darkness? Or you better look for some light, nigga, or something that's going to help you to see. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what type of solution are you looking for? You know what I'm saying? You got to be honest with yourself. Again, that's what I tell fuckers, man. If you can't even see what's in front of you, but here's the problem too, because you gotta go, you gotta see beyond it. To see what's in front of you, you have to see beyond it. Meaning you gotta have the inner vision. Because here's another example too, and I always use that example. My son and I, we share the same space and time, but different realities. This nigga loves Spider Man, I do too. I mean, he's Spider Man. That's just him jumping around. But my Spider Man is costing me money. Spider Man ass motherfucker. Damn, nigga. What the fuck? So it's our level of consciousness. And as we're going through these things, it's almost like your body doesn't even exist. It doesn't matter. And that's what the illusion is about. So now, when you only identify yourself with your external self, that's when all hell breaks loose. Because now at that point, you became the dead one. And this type of knowledge, again, it's like people, like, that's why when they say you don't argue with fools, it's not to make them feel bad. The idea is not to denigrate fools by you not arguing with them. It's only because they truly don't understand. How am I going to argue with a motherfucker that I don't get it? I think I must not. I mean, it would have to be me not getting the shit. It's like, what are you not getting? The motherfucker disagree with you. Well, nigga, we agree to disagree. Congratulations. You go about your way, I go about mine. Do you see what I'm saying? With no sweat, nothing. I'm not here worried about shit, nigga. You know what I'm saying? What you eat don't make me shit. Why would I give a fuck about what niggas did, man? You gotta pay for your shit, nigga. That's all of us. I'm paying for my decision too. You see what I'm saying? Like, gee, listen, man, it is what it is. So those, yeah, man, you gotta let the dead bury the dead. Even that's why they telling you, even with your fucking haters too. So let's go back to the self-image shit because I gave you guys the science on how to know you're a lot of haters, man. Listen, there's a mentality. They all have that same mentality. They all act the same way. They all think the same way. Life is a gamble for them, and you'll see a lot of these motherfuckers. They gamble too, and that's why people who become successful with these motherfuckers, they call them lucky people. Listen to their words. Lucky, gamble, either you have it or you don't have it. But for us, if you're taking self responsibility, if you're choosing yourself, listen, you know everybody put the work in. I don't give a fuck if you gotta suck dick. I don't give a fuck if you go with the with Puff Daddy's fucking you. Guess what, nigga? That's the work you had to do. It's still work. I mean, it may not have integrity, but at the end of the day, work it. Like all I'm trying to say is, listen, you don't get nothing for nothing. You don't get nothing for nothing. I don't give a fuck what you choose to do. You're gonna pay one way or another. And this is where these motherfuckers, the haters, this is where they got it all fucked up. Because now they're wasting their time hating on you when they could have used, and this is them doing shit, hurting themselves even more. The difference between you hurting yourself, me, I'm just helping myself. Do you see the difference? You hurting yourself, I'm helping myself. But at the end of the day, we both choose to act a certain way. We acting. That's why you see the people who think they always think these people are unlucky because the hater mentality. This is how they think. If I don't have it, nobody else can have it. That's why they tell you too. People always happy for you until you become better than them. So as long as you're not better than the motherfucker, you are good. When the motherfuckers see you better than them, oh no, that's gotta go. You're not gonna make me look bad out here. And this is where the competition stems from. Because what they're looking at, the end result, which is the image. It's like motherfuckers always look at Michael Jordan and he said the same shit over and over. It's like this nigga became Michael Jackson, who he was, you know what I'm saying, just by walking in. Hey, what's going on, people? We good. All right, let me do me, baby. And this nigga was telling you is after he failed, after failure, you know what I'm saying, he devoted himself to the game. But if you're a hater, those haters, they always look at the end results. You got to understand their science. That's why they say it's such, it's lucky. They never see nobody's hard work, bro. You know what I'm saying? I got a library. I have a fucking living room full of books. And then there's a bitch who just sucking dick, just sucking dick. And then now, for me to look good, I, what? You, who you? Like I couldn't do better without you? Fuck, fuck. When were you ever part of the equation? When? This is crazy. So I got to understand their mentality. The hater wanna takes credit for what you do. That the motherfucker was nowhere near what you were doing or how you were doing what you were doing. But again, that's why, and then they claim they know you because they're looking, they're not even looking right. And then they think they know you. So stupid. You know what I'm saying? It's like they can't see because they're looking at what's in front of them. And here's the paradox that exists in life too. That's why it cannot be logical. So to use logic over emotions, or as the ultimate for everything, my nigga, that is the dumbest shit ever. Now, for the most part, there are circumstances. Logic is very important. In fact, I mean, in a lot of circumstances, but not logics and all that shit. They just play their part. A fucking intuition that you have, there's nothing logical about it. But that shit could give you some result, my nigga. If you wake up a certain day, it tells you not to do certain things, you better believe. You better listen to it. I'm trying to tell you. You see what I'm saying? Nah, man. Everybody's gotta put their work in. And everybody's already doing that. So when you're dealing with your haters, that's why they spend their time hating you when they could have used that time to make themselves better, which is exactly what you're doing. In fact, you could even help them to make them life better. Oh, but no, they're not gonna see it that way though. You gotta let the dead bury the dead. So I'm glad I'm able to tap into it that way because I'm trying to get you to see people for who they are. And the sight that you need to have, and that is the sight that I'm giving you today, is for you to look at people beyond what they look like. Because the beyond what they look like is truly who they are. But it won't only start, you then you would have to, that's when you have to become spiritual. That's when for me, I could tap into this motherfuckers. I could read their energy. Okay. I'm way ahead of these motherfuckers, man. They have no idea. They don't even know what's coming for them. That's like shit. I tell you niggas keep going. Do your worst. And believe me, your worst is coming. It is what it is. I got nothing to do with that, dog. Those are your actions. Do you see what I'm saying? They told you to stop. But hey. Hey, it ain't gonna be me. That's all I know. Listen, if you don't believe me, the proof is in front of it. Shit. You better ask somebody. Nigga, you better ask around. I don't think you're getting the right information. Ask around. Ask about me. Nigga, you better ask around. Yo, you better ask about me. Mm, the harder they come, the harder they fall, man. Hey, that's their choice. But anyway, I mean, I'm glad I was able to share that esoteric aspect of that message. And here it is in the Bible. But some people would say, oh, that's not as esoteric, man. It's the Bible, okay? That's what the Bible. Listen, all that shit, everything, all of it, those sacred texts is all part of the occult. In fact, the problem become when, unfortunately, we're making religion out of it, meaning not the true religion. Let me just be clear. We're making a trend out of it. That's when you have, those different sectors in fucking religion. Whereas there's no trend, it's all of it. You know, and that's the illusion when you're trying to, you can't. It's like conscious. You could be rich and be conscious. You could be poor and also be conscious. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like you can't be like, yo, man, to be fully in your power. You know what I'm saying? You got to be a millionaire. Nah, that's the American dream, nigga. The fuck out of here, nigga. You know what I'm saying? And this is what the new, let's just say, the new age of the new spirituality now is becoming. It's viewed that powerful, where you're a powerful manifester. You know what I'm saying? Now this is the trend. This is the bullshit that's being created out of it. So to be a powerful manifester, now they turn something, you know, to the pure, all is pure, but to the impure though, they're 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 they're. I mean, you can't do it really, but because their sight, it's not. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. That means where something is beautiful, you see ugliness in it. You only see the ugly of beauty. You know what I'm saying? You don't see beauty for beauty, dog. You only see bullshit and beauty. Damn. I mean, shit, man. How do you? I don't know, man. Perception is a motherfucker. You see what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Again, he who says I can and he who said I can't, they're both right. And that's where spirituality comes in, man, to let you know, hey, man, whichever way you go, it's you. You don't have to agree with it. Oh, hey, we know it's you. Yeah, whatever, motherfucker. Jesus, yeah, whatever, bitch. This Jesus wouldn't mean shit if you weren't singing it or if you weren't calling on to it. That's why I tell people, man, talking Jesus means bullshit. Absolutely nothing. But if you're gonna act like Jesus, now that means you're gonna act like somebody who has integrity. Now you're saying you're gonna act like, you know what I'm saying, like with self confidence. Now you telling me you're gonna walk on water, baby. You feel me? Here's another esoteric knowledge, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not meant to be taken literal. So what we made out of it, even in the Jesus part, you know what I'm saying? Now we made it, like an actual person, and then you're doing all that shit. You're missing out. You're not looking at the bigger picture. Because even if you want to turn Jesus into a historical person, he, I mean, the person that he was, you're gonna, and just like we said, to get to know somebody, to know their character. So you would have to know that part of him. I mean, yeah, cool. He may have some long hair, whatever the fuck. You want to call it white, you want to call it black, have at it. It's just masturbation, right? But ultimately, how are you using this nigga? This black Jesus, let's just say that's black, or you don't want Yahshua, or you don't want it wasn't Joshua, Yahshua. Okay, fine. How are you using that for you? Doesn't matter, And I noticed that in the conscious community because due to ignorance, niggas be talking about they wasting their time, and even to say that they copy shit from you. Well, you are the blueprint. So people are trying to tell you Jesus was Osiris, all this shit. You're wasting your time. It doesn't matter who the fuck it was. Or if it matters, how does that help you? Because if you don't understand mythology, because your shit was built to set you free. Just like when we're talking about Santa Claus. Santa Claus is not, who do you know any kid who's having trouble letting Santa Claus go? Oh, I believe it's Santa Claus. And then now you're gonna tell a motherfucker that shit wasn't real. Who gives a fuck? Do you see what I'm saying? And meanwhile, Jesus may not have been real, but let's just say this motherfucker was real, right? Motherfucker was real, and then what else? You know how many people was real who fucking existed? What the fuck that has to do with your life? Well, okay, then you have to go beyond what he looked like. Yeah, it's cool. He was born in Jerusalem, whatever the fuck. Yeah, that's cool to know. All I'm trying to say, ultimately, however you're gonna dissect it, you're gonna have to deal with Jesus on the fucking beyond physical. And if that's the case, it doesn't matter if it existed or if it didn't exist. How is your Jesus treating you? Are you becoming Horus? Are you setting yourself free? Are you a punk bitch? Are you following orders? Or you don't even know what it's like to attain that highest level of consciousness? Or do you want to sound smart instead of being smart? Which one is it? Until you understand that, that's why it doesn't matter how much you see. It's how you're looking at it. You know what I'm saying? You could have 500 mango. If only one of them is right, the 499 means nothing. You know why? Because you can't eat them. They're not edible. That's why the name of the game has always been quality, baby. It's never quantity. What are we talking about? But anyway, we're gonna leave it here, man. Just let the dead bury the dead. Always remember, if you think money's everything, you're gonna do everything for fucking money. But most importantly, just remember, money is a good bitch, but a bad master. If money's your master, you fuck. But if money's your bitch, come on, she's yo. Money will give you the best head ever. And I always remember, man. Listen, the remedy of the pain, it's in the pain. Like shit, bro, Molly.